Yes. Yeah.
But like the comparison, like with me and some of the other guys.
So that'd be something neat to see, the Harris Centers at
The Pirates playing in Williams.
Welcome back for the second period. The Gretzky trade tree has been going on for quite some time. Now this means is when the start of the whole Gretzky to Los Angeles.
The trade.
Yeah, literally is what has been known as the trade. It was even known for on ESPN's 30 for 30, King's Ransom is basically where it all started, which actually was a good 30 for 30. So ESPN 30 for 30, King's Ransom is all about the Gretzky trade. This has been going on for see here the effects of the trade. 12,391 days.
It just came to an end this season.
That's a long
this off
time.
season.
That's a long time. And it all started, of course, when Edmonton traded Gretzky to the Kings. And that's where it all just took effect. Because then he went to the Blues, which really nobody cared too much about. But then it was his. Well, no, really, he only played for a few seasons in St. Louis. Before
was it even a few seasons, or was it a partial season?
I can't remember
and then he went
anymore.
because he was there to get them. Was he there to get them in the playoffs? And then he went to the Rangers and finished up his career as a Ranger.
I know he finished his career up as a Ranger. Just give me a second here. I'm bringing up.
It's all right. While you do that, I'll vamp a little bit. So,
go for it.
So the Oilers' end of the trade tree wrapped up in 2002. So their end of the trade tree ended 20 years ago. But the Kings' end of the trade tree ended this past offseason. And I thought this was a really cool topic for us to talk about because it's in that, I think it's in that realm of kind of quirky, off the beaten path sports information that we like as fans. So there's that off chance our listeners will enjoy it because they enjoy listening to us for what God unknown reason.
Well, just like before we start the second period, how many trade trees are still going on from the 80s?
So for the NHL, the Cam Neely trade tree is still ongoing. And then the current oldest one for the NHL dates back to 1981 when the Sabres traded Rick Martin to the Kings. So that one is still ongoing. The only tree I could find for that, a picture of, dates back to 2018. So there's at least 4 seasons worth of information not on that tree at the moment. And then sidebar here, there was a tree in baseball in an MLB that started in 1947 and ended in 1994. That was a 47-year trade tree.
Ooh, that's a good distance.
And it had 54 transactions in it.
Oi.
I'm totally honest with you. I discovered trade trees this week, and I'm absolutely fascinated by it. The fact that people are taking time to break these down is absolutely crazy to me. And I love it. It is crazy in a good way to me. I love this. This is awesome.
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. It is. By the way, found out what the information is here. It is 18 games.
18 games. So it wasn't even a full season.
No, he was with the Kings for 62 games that he played. And then during the season, he got traded to St. Louis for 18. And he played 13 of them in the playoffs. And then
So that's
following
basically
year,
the lost weekend.
and then pretty much he then left there to go to New York, where he finished out his career from 96 to 99. day.
So why don't you fill us in on how, because you know these players probably much better than I do. So maybe you can fill us in on the end of the tree here this season.
Well, so I'm trying to look at the tree here to see where we are at close to the end of the season here.
Well, the tree I sent you was updated in 2020, so you got to go.
Well, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
thread.
Because I'm kind of going to both. I'm kind of going back and forth with it here. So I know Jeff Halpern. He played, if I remember right, he played with the Capitals back when me and my brother were actually going to the games. Back in the late 90s. When Olaf Kolzig and Peter Bondro were still playing. People are like, who? Who are they? Well, I know a lot of times I always make this. I always say this. Capitals fans, prior, are actual fans of the Ovechkin era. Any person who rooted for the Capitals before then knows who I'm talking about. Anybody after have no clue on team history. That's just my, so I sometimes say bandwagoners for the Ovi era. The same thing I say for the Penguins fans for the Crosby era. But anywho, but this was all from the Kings side of the tree.
Yes, because like I said, the Oilers ended 20 years ago. So
yeah, so it's just the Kings side actually just kept going. Who would have thought? Wow, 98, geez. Yeah, some of these players I'm actually trying to. Some of these names I do recognize, but I know I am going to butcher like anything trying to pronounce them.
Well, I'm saying let's just get to this season and how it ended, basically.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the Oilers side, Alexander Daigle is supposed to be a Flyers draft. He's supposed to be a Flyers high-end draft pick who turned out to be nothing. But it ended. Screen. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah, no problem. And while David's doing that, I'll put the link in the description of the episode on YouTube under the Sportsnet channel. There is a gentleman who does Steve Dangle. He does videos on the different NHL trade trees, and even though it's from 2020, it is 55 minutes of just insane hockey information and knowledge surrounding the Gretzky trade and the trade tree. Highly recommend it. Great watch. I'll put the link in the description of the episode for anyone interested in checking it out.
Yeah, because I know I watched a couple of his episodes just prior, and they were actually pretty good the way he describes and breaks down everything. But the trade tree has here on March 21st, 2022, Marcus Phillips was traded to the Jets 1-for-1 with Nelson Nogar. I know I butchered that. This means that the Nelson is the last hope for the Gretzky trade tree. Then once free agency opened up today, this was as of 9 days ago, according to this post, Nelson officially entered free agency and thus left the Kings and ended the branch of the Wayne Gretzky tree. So it just finished a couple days ago when free agency opened.
Yeah, I mean, and the Reddit article was from 9 days ago, so I had to have seen it that day because I believe I sent it to you the day I read it.
Yeah, I think you did.
And I'm like, this is crazy to think about.
Well, yeah, I mean, plus also what you said, there's a lot of other trade trees that are still going on to this day, whether it be NHL, MLB,
There's an
Probably.
MLB one that is going on for, what I say, 28 years.
Something like that, I
That is
think you
currently
said.
going on. I think this stuff's absolutely fascinating. I'm so glad I stumbled over this on Reddit.
It's definitely interesting just because you don't know, like, pretty much it's almost like a family tree, how it just branches out.
And it's like one of the things I really enjoyed about watching the video on YouTube. And again, I highly recommend it. Even if you're not a big hockey fan, it is a really cool watch. Is who was supposed to be a big prospect and didn't do anything, who was projected to be nothing and ended up playing like 600 games with a certain team and then was traded. And it's all these little nuanced stuff involved with these trades and these players that I found really fascinating. And I think that's what I found to be really cool about the video was some of these players never did anything, and some of these players did really great things, and some guys are just kind of in the middle, and all these people played a role in this trade tree lasting from 1988 to 2022.
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, just that it would be going this long and everything else.
You're going to be looking for Flyers trade trees now, aren't you?
Well, the one I saw was Alexander Degg, who I thought he was I know he was a Flyer at one point, but I'm trying to remember if he was drafted by the Flyers or if I'm thinking of somebody else. Because I saw his name in the trade tree. He was drafted by the Senators. Okay. He was drafted by the Senators first overall back in '93. But he just didn't pan out at all. He failed to live up, according to Wikipedia, he failed to live up to the high expectations. Well, first overall, you always get those high expectations.
Right? That's almost any sport.
Yeah, I mean, knowing me, I will be trying to look up a lot of this stuff just because of what it is. You know, if you're definitely interested in trying to see what is what, how long a trade tree has been going on, it's definitely interesting to look up because trust me, I'll be looking up more than what I should. You know, they always say you go down the rabbit hole with YouTube. Well, this is what I'm be going down the rabbit hole with is trade trees.
My fault.
Way to go, Jason.
It's my fault.
Way to go. That's why we don't have nice things.
Is this how you get Aunt's Berry? Yes, it is, Other Berry.
Oh, I haven't seen that show in ages.
I was gonna say you understood that reference quick.
Oh, I have not seen that show in ages. I gotta start watching that again. I might start from the beginning, just a clarification up there. Thanks a lot, Jason. Now
I know I'm screwing everything up.
My brain's exploding now. So before my brain goes haywire here and short circuits, that's the end of the second. We'll be right back.